Hey guys, it's Jessica. I want to welcome you back to my channel, and today I'm going to do a bookish tag, or I'm going to do a couple of questions from several bookish tags. I was inspired by Monique from Monique's book list to do this tag. I'm going to link her video in the iCard here, and also links will be in the description down below. I really like Monique. She just is really fun to listen to. She has a lot of great, honest takes. I thought it was about time I did a book tag because I do a lot of BookTube content. I've sort of been avoiding it because I feel a little bit silly, but also I need like a fun intro video, and this is probably going to be the set. I've been uploading for about 6 months now, and I've been avoiding it the whole time. These get to know yous are so awkward. It is time, and we're gonna do one. I got my little written down questions here. So question number 1, what is your favorite book series? And I don't like any of these favorite questions, whether it's your favorite book or your favorite book series, just because it changes so much for me, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure for you to come up with something. If I had to pick one right now, I'd probably pick The Song of the Lioness, a young adult book quartet that I read when I was 12 or 13, and right now it's doing the rounds on BookTube. A lot of people are reading it for the first time or rereading it, and it just inspired a lot of my reading trends going forward and has impacted me a lot in how I think about writing and what I'm looking for when I'm reading. So even though it's been a while since I've revisited it and it is a younger child series, it's had such a big impact. I feel like it could have earned my favorite book spot. Next question is going to be dork, nerd, dweeb, or all of the above. And I probably think of myself more as a nerd or a geek. I don't like the word dweeb, it just isn't fun to say. But other than that, I don't think any of them are necessarily offensive or apply or don't apply to anyone unless they want them to. Who's the author I've read the most books from? This has got to be hands down K.A. Applegate. And the reason for this is because I read all of the Animorph series and the Megamorphs and the Andalade Chronicles. And I also read a couple of her Otherworld, and she had some other kind of teen story that I read a few of. So I've read well over 100 books by her. And as far as the Animorphs go, I've loved every second of it. A book you always recommend? There's no one book I would recommend to every single person. And in fact, there are books I don't like that I do recommend to people if it's what they're looking for. And there are books that I really love and I would never in a million years recommend to certain people because it's just not their thing. And I think it's really important when you make recommendations, if your intention is really to help that person find something they're looking for, that you think about them, their personality, their likes and dislikes, and then you make a recommendation based off of that. Books with or without illustrations? It kind of depends. Like, I love a good manga. It's been a long time since I've read one, but I would totally get back into a series if someone had a new recommendation for me. I haven't done a lot of anime or manga recently, so I'm not even sure what's out right now, but I liked them a lot when I was in my teens and early 20s, and I would enjoy one now too. But if it's not a manga, then I'm probably not into illustrations. I don't mind when they're in a book. I'm never like, ugh, illustrations, but I don't usually look at them either. So maps or any other kinds of pictures that are in books, a lot of times I just keep flipping through looking for the words and the rest of the story. Do you carry a book bag, and what's in there? I carry a shoulder bag, which I replaced for a book bag in my high school years. So I would say yes, I do carry a book bag around, but it's like one of those shoulder strappy ones. And in there you're probably going to find a planner, a notebook. Depending on where I'm going and who I'm meeting, you would see a laptop in a sleeve, a million different kinds of pens. Most of them are gel pens and they're all different kinds of colors. A wallet would be in there, cough drops, some wet naps. Sometimes I carry tea in there, or I carry non-perishable creamer for different kinds of coffee drinks that I might be purchasing. There's a lot of stuff in there. It just keeps building. When you carry a bag that big around, it's hard not to just kind of collect items. Do you get sick in the car while reading? Used to be no, but I've found nowadays I do get sick in the car when I'm on my phone, and I have to bring an e-reader out and see if that changes things. But I'm gonna tentatively say that like the bumpiness and the shakiness of the road affects me now in a way that it didn't even like 2 years ago. It's been really odd to develop something like that too, because I've never felt that way before. I've been able to read anywhere, anytime. It's just a period of adjustment, but I think sadly I'm going to have to own that I do get car sick while reading now. Do I have any funny stories regarding books from childhood. My mom has a favorite one she likes to tell. I loved when people would read to me, and I would carry around a book with me all the time and try and get people to read more to me. So I was bothering my mom, and she was in the middle of cooking, and I was asking her to read to me, and she couldn't, so she said no. And I went and I asked my dad, and he was in the middle of something, so he couldn't either. So then my mom comes to check on me, and I'm yelling at our dog, and I'm demanding that the dog read to me, because at that age I thought just everyone besides me could read, and I just had to find someone else to do it for me. Do you smell books? I do smell like notebooks or like clean, fresh books. I'm a little bit more hesitant about my used books, and I don't bother obviously with ebooks. It's been a while since I've had a physical copy of a book, probably not since college at this point in time. And some of the reasons for that is just because budgetary wise, it hasn't made sense. And also once I have something in my possession, I tend to keep it. And that's not always good for me or my life. So it's just easier to keep things digitally. And I really enjoy an e-reader. Carrying something like that around, I could have a couple hundred books in there and I can sort of pick between them without all of the extra effort and weight. And I have been known to carry around like 6 to 10 books, hard copies, when I wasn't sure what I wanted to read. And it was a lot of weight. Like, I really am glad that the e-reader came out and made that easier for me. Do you write as well as you read? And do you see yourself becoming a future author? I would love to write as well as I read, but I'm gonna have to tentatively say no. I'm a very good reader. I read at a reasonable pace, and I'm able to do so consistently regardless of my mood. Even though what I read changes with my mood, my ability to read does not change. As far as writing goes, it comes in bursts, and I write a lot when I do write, but I can't always write all the time, and I've tried to force myself through like a hard patch, and it just doesn't work out. Even though I think I'm a pretty good writer, it would be arrogant for me to say that I was a great or an amazing writer. I feel like writing-wise, I'm always learning more, and I'm always working on becoming better and picking up new techniques. And reading-wise, I don't know what new techniques I'd pick up at this point in time. I do consider myself a writer, and I have self-published a book. It's called Follow Me, Tattered Veils, and it's a new adult urban fantasy. It's available on Amazon and in Kindle Unlimited. I would love for you guys to go check it out if you like those genres, and if not, that's cool too. I do love that book a lot, and I am in the process of writing a sequel for it. I've written maybe a third of a rough draft. What's your drink of choice while reading? I love tea while reading. You know, as I've grown up, I've become more of a coffee drinker, and I'm more likely to drink coffee than I am tea. But something about tea, and something, you know, I've been drinking it since I was a child, although it started with like herbal peppermint and then moved on to black tea or oolong tea. But I think it's just that I've drank tea the whole time and I've read the whole time, and I really love unsweet tea, hot and iced, so it can go with the weather. And if I'm outside, I can have my nice book and my iced tea, and if I'm inside or if it's raining, I can have my nice hot cozy tea with a little lemon and my book right there with me. It's just like a perfect comforting drink, and it never feels like a rush to drink it. Like sometimes I feel like I'm in a rush to drink my coffee. Hurry up, finish the coffee, get that perk, keep moving. But I don't feel that way with tea. Tea is like a lazy kind of sip and savor drink. Who is a fictional character you'd have dated in high school? Probably Ryer from Tamara Pierce's The Circle Opens series. I really liked him a lot as a character. He was like a reformed thief with magic to grow different plants. And I don't know, I just liked the reformed thief aspect. I liked that he had sort of like knew the ins and outs of like the city, and he sort of understood the nobles and had a little bit of a jaded outlook. And I love that green thumb. I'm not always very good or consistent with plants, but I love the idea of growing them and having a lot near me. So it would be great for him to like give me some fresh flowers and to just tend our garden and make sure that everything looks beautiful and landscaped outside for me. Harry Potter or Twilight, and 3 reasons why. I'm gonna pick Harry Potter, and it's gonna be easy. Number 1, I've never read Twilight. No interest in reading Twilight. Don't want to. Number 2, Harry Potter as a series hit me at a time in my life that had high impact, and Twilight, I was past the target demographic when it came out, so it had less of a chance to do that for me. And number 3, Harry Potter is about acceptance and friendship and coming together to fight common enemies. And Twilight is about a vampire and a girl dating. There's more themes and interesting things to explore in Harry Potter. A forbidden love or a love triangle? I'm not really into either. I guess if I had to pick between the two, I prefer the love triangle. Forbidden love a lot of times is like age gap love, and I don't like that at all. Or it's like a teacher dating a student, and I don't like that either. I don't like when the power dynamic between potential relationships is so staggered like that. It makes me like uncomfortable and worried for one of the characters in the story, which is like the exact opposite of what you want to happen in a romance. I think this is where I'm going to end off my book tag at this point in time. If you guys have more questions or are curious about more of my reading preferences, feel free to pop a comment down below. I would love to answer any questions or concerns you guys have. And if you want to hear more about any of the books or topics that I mentioned, also leave me a comment down below. I'm happy to explore almost anything within this book tag further as well. But other than that, I'm Jessica. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my bookish tag. I hope you guys like fantasy, sci-fi themed stories, and I hope to see you more often. Please consider subscribing. I post weekly on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central, and also I'm posting regularly a more casual, less scripted video on Sundays at 1 p.m. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!